There we go. Hi guys, welcome back to Kit Car Director and MK Sportscars. Well, we're going to get into the workshop with a little bit of technical stuff this time. So frequently asked questions about brakes, bleeding, engine first startups and things like that. So what I'm going to do now is hand you over to myself and we're going to talk you through some technical stuff on brakes and engine startups. Have fun, enjoy. Okay, so we're here with the RX5 automatic build and we've been asked a lot of times about bleeding brakes. Oh, I get a soft pedal when I'm trying to breathe my brakes and everything else. I can't seem to get a pedal. So I thought I'd talk you through how we do it. Now there is a few different ways and a few different tools and a few different pieces of equipment out there that's out there in the aftermarket world, so to speak, in bleeding brakes. But we're going to do it the old school way. So on the front here we've got a set of wheelwood calipers, 4 pots, so you need to bleed the inner and the outer. We've got our brake bias pedal box here. So we have 2 master cylinders, one for front, one for rear. And there's an adjustment on that here. And then on the back, on the RX5, we have a standard Mazda caliper. Now what you have to do with this particular one, because the bleed nipple is down here. So it's underneath. So Finn's going to come around and show you where the nipple is here. And that's down low. So facing down, you're always going to get air trapped. So you need to take the caliper off and turn it up the other way so that it's up the top. I.e. like Peter's got here. So what we've done though, is we've got a little tool. Here we've wound it in to get the piston so that the piston won't compress, and Peter can now face the nipple upwards and have that there into a pipe going into the canister. Now what I'm going to do, old school way, bleeding the brakes, 2-person job. You can buy 1-man kits, but now what I need to do, we're bleeding in the rear. So the rear cylinder is this one. So because we've got a bias bar, I'm going to wind this bar all the way over to the rear cylinder so that we make sure we get the maximum amount of pressure on the rear master cylinder. Now you probably think, you don't need to do that, you could put it in the middle and do both. But yeah, but it's just easier, it's quicker, you get more pressure on the rear line and hopefully force the air through. So wind that all the way over, that'll do just there. And now I'm going to go down Peter's, I'm going to pump this up 3 times, Peter, get some pressure, and I'll tell you when to release. So we're going to pump the pedal, 1, 2, 3, get some pressure, down Peter. As you see, the pedal goes all the way to the floor there. And lock it off, right? So you're going to lock it off and then we'll do this a few times and we'll pump it again. 1, 2, 3, 4 and hold, and then Peter release. Pedal goes all the way down, keeping an eye on the fluid level in here. Any air bubbles? No. No air bubbles. We have done it a couple of times, so we're just showing you what it's bleed. The pedal's nice and firm. So that feels actually pretty good, and you'd keep an eye on this level, making sure you don't run the pot dry, because if you do, guess what? You've got to start again. So now we're going to do the front one. So Pete, if you leave that caliper as it is, and we'll jump onto the front caliper. We come around to this side or that side. We'll try both. Now, but what I'm going to do in preparation, I'm going to wind this bias bar all the way over to the front master cylinder. So when you do the front, you've got all the pressure on the front one, which is about there. So now Peter's hooking up the little canister, hook up the little pipes on here. Now there's a few different brake systems out there, but when you're doing the wheelwoods, you've got 4 pots, you've got 2 pistons here and 2 pistons here. You have to bleed inner and outer. It doesn't really matter which way you only do it, as long as you bleed both. You do not touch the ones at the bottom. Leave them alone. Don't need to get involved with them in any way, shape or form. It's just these 2 at the top. So this has a little 1/4-inch spanner on here. It's on. We put the bleed pipe on and you'll actually see fluid going through there. So what I'll do again is, if you look here at the clear pipe, you'll see the fluid coming through. We'll pump it up a few times and we'll undo it, and you'll see down, we're all the way down, lock it off. Yep. Let that return, pump it up 3 times and open. There you go, it's all the way down, and that's it. Let's have a feel of the pedal. Pedal feels pretty firm. So then what we would do is we'd do this one, we'd do this one, and we'd do the other side and replicate it. So yeah, that's pretty much bleeding it. Keeping an eye on the pots. Look, the level's gone down quite a bit, so you've got to keep an eye on the fluid because it's a smaller pot making sure the levels are good, bleeding each corner, but the most important thing is making sure when you do the rears that you remove the caliper and turn it up the other way so the bleed nibbles at the top. Right, so you've bled all your brakes. Hopefully it's all in a nice solid pedal, but if you've still got a soft pedal, there is a couple of things that you can do to maybe sort of top tip to help bleed the brakes. You may have a micro bubble in there in somewhere. One of the spots that you can get it on is this. So down in here is your pressure switch for your brake lights, which you would have plumbed in. Sometimes it's advisable just to crack that nut off, just loosely, press the brake pedal here, just push it so that it will push any fluid out. There might be a micro bubble just sitting in here on this bottom section. That will really sort of help and just push any last bit of air out of it. Next thing you know, personally what I do is, we can do it two ways. Either clamp the pedal in place overnight, or you can put in a post or broom even from the back panel to here to hold this brake pedal in position. We would normally leave it on for, well, overnights ideally, but if not, a couple of hours. And what you can then do is go around all of the fittings, checking that there's no leaks or anything here in this join, in the pedal box areas and on the rear of the vehicle, coming into the master cylinder, and there's a T under the base there as well. Checking all of those, make sure there's no physical leaks on the system while the pedal's pressed and held in position. And then failing that, if you've still got any more air bubbles, it's probably going to be checking the rears again, making sure that you put this nipple at the top and then bleed it from the top section. So these sort of top tips on trying to get maybe the last micro bubbles out of the system. Right, here we are with Tom's car, just, well, priming it really. So first start of your car, some people just go straight in and crank it, but the engine's been built on this, so it's probably pretty dry in places. Trying to get the oil pump primed. So what we've done here, we've removed the plugs and leads so that it can turn over a lot faster. Joseph's done a great job, disconnected it on the ECU, so we've got nothing like injectors firing or crank sensor, is it? We think we've turned off as well. Oh, sorry, cam sensor.
No, I've turned off coils and the injectors.
Turn off coils and the injectors, done. Boom. So now what we've done, we've plumbed in, on the back of the head here, there's a little 1/8 MPT port, just at the back here, Finny will see that in a minute. And then we've got a little temporary gauge, just plumbed in, because it hasn't got an oil pressure gauge on the standard instruments, it's just like a switch. So we thought we'd make sure we get oil pressure up here. So what we're going to do now is crank it over, crank the car over and see if this comes up to around 60, ideally. So we give it a crank and it should turn over quite fast. Let's wait, there we go, we've got oil pressure coming up. So it's going to easily get up to 60. Yeah, it's about 60. So now we know we've got oil coming up to the top of the engine, it's picking up on the pickup points, it's primed the oil cooler and everything else. That's kind of like safe to start now. So next job, put it all back together and see if she fires. See if she makes a noise, boom boom noises.
This map out of 3 different maps.
So Joseph made this map out of 3 different maps, right? Because it's slightly different to what we normally do. Not the norm.
No idea what injectors are in it.
We don't know what injector sizes are in it, because engine was built by the customer, which is fine, but you know, that's it, we've installed it all. So we're going to see, we're going to put this together. It's got oil pressure, so that's a plus. And now, we give them a nip. Won't go too mad, they were quite heavily torqued before, we won't go too mad in case we need to whip them out again. Just giving them a light nip up. There'll be a torque setting for those guys, no doubt, and you'll go on the forums, oh, you need to torque them up. Yes, you're correct. But for now, we're just giving them a light nip, not even going too mad. We'll put the coil packs in. All cool leads anyway, not packs on these, but there you go. Right, we got fuel? We got fuel. That's a good noise.
Joe.
We got noise, and I'm going to stand clear. Let's see if she makes some noise. Oh! Definitely got spark. No, bit of throttle. She's a trying.
Make the mistake.
Pause. Back to the laptop. So, phase 2. Very quick fix. This is literally 5 minutes later, and I kid you not, 5 minutes later. Joseph's been on the laptop. What we didn't realise, did we, Joseph? Because we didn't put the engine together. It's actually got a trigger wheel down here, which is different to the standard one. It's got a 36.2, which doesn't help because it can't sync on the engine, which is why we didn't know it's syncing. So now, Number 2, Josie's changed the map. Battery was getting a little bit low, it was cranking, so we'll just put a jump pack on it for now. Quickly, so we're going to go boom. Let's see if she rolls now. Ooh. Do we have life? We have life. Yep, and we got 60 psi of oil pressure as well, so golden. There we go, we have life. She runs, so that's the next phase. Now Joseph's going to work his magic. By the way, happy birthday, Joseph. Happy birthday. Yes, so well done, Joseph. He's used his magic, his little fingers. He's been working his magic on there. I think it's all the cake. Sorted that out, so now Tom's car is running, but there's a lot more to do. Bit of mapping and processes on it, but make sure you remember, do the processes, do the checks, make sure you got oil pressure and all those things before you start running it up. Absolutely no point otherwise, especially if you've built an engine or it's fresh, we're good to go. So yeah, next up, more laptop work. Right, well hopefully that will be useful information and maybe save your engine, save your checkbook, save your bank balance, and maybe save your life in terms of braking. So if you've got more technical questions that you want to know more information about, and maybe some technical bits that you're building a car, got another different brand or whatever, throw them down in the comments and we'll see if we can figure them out, put them on a video and deliver that to you here from MK Sportscars. That's it for this week, guys. Remember to like, share, subscribe, but don't forget, if you want one of these bad boys, hook us up, mksportscars.com, or give us a phone call here at the factory, or best not, come see us and we'll take you out for a test drive and go and have some wicked fun in one of these little toys. That's it, guys. Like, share, subscribe. Catch you next time.